Henry can't stay in the forest. Neither can we. At some point we have to go back. Face the damage. Choose connection again. Even knowing how fragile it is. Firewatch isn't just a game about watching for fires. It's a game about watching yourself burn. Out here, it's just you, the trees, and your thoughts. But what happens when the very thing you sought to escape becomes louder than ever? Let's talk about what Firewatch truly teaches us about isolation. Henry, the man we play as, doesn't come here for adventure. He comes here because his life back home is falling apart. His wife Julia, diagnosed with early onset dementia, represents a future he cannot fix, a reality he can't face. So he isolates himself. The wilderness becomes his escape. But isolation doesn't mean silence. Through a cheap crackling radio, Henry meets Delilah, another isolated soul. Their conversations are funny, flirty, even profound at times. But here's the thing that Firewatch shows us. Even in isolation, we crave connection. We reach out, even if it's fragile, messy, and incomplete. Isolation, though, has a very dark side. As I'm saying this, I realize that isolation probably doesn't have a light side either. For sure has more darker sides than brighter sides. When Henry stumbles upon the remains of Brian Goodwin, Firewatch forces us to see it. Isolation unchecked can lead to secrets, neglect, and tragedy. I'm not saying that Brian Goodwin took his life. He actually fell and died in a climbing accident. But because of his father, Ned Goodwin neglected him. He tried to teach him how to climb even though Brian wasn't really interested in it. So Brian acted like he liked it. But in secret, he went on to make his own hideout in the forest. A hideout filled with stuff that he was interested in. Dungeons and Dragons and comic books, for example. And that's what I mean with isolation unchecked can lead to secrets, neglect, and tragedy. In this case, here's a question for you that you can answer in the comments. I would love to see what you think about this. What do we lose along the way when we isolate ourselves from responsibility, from love, from pain? And then the fire comes, literally and metaphorical. The forest, the illusion of safety, starts burning. Henry and Delilah's fragile connection starts to fray. Because at the end of the day, no matter how far you run, you cannot outpace yourself. Firewatch teaches us that isolation isn't a solution. It's more of a pause. A space between who we were and who we have to become next. But it's dangerous to stay isolated for too long. You risk losing not just the world around you, you risk losing yourself. Henry cannot stay in the forest. Neither can we. At some point, we have to go back. Face the damage. Choose connection again, even knowing how fragile it is. That's what Firewatch teaches us about isolation. It's not a refuge forever. It's the wilderness we have to walk through to find ourselves, and to find our way home again. If you love peeling back the layers of games like Firewatch, consider subscribing. There's so much more beneath the surface, and I can't wait to dive into it with you. See you in the next one.